weeks, months at this point. Tiamat was not at the top of that list. I have no idea how that one's going to shake out. Honestly, I have no idea whether or not that's even going to be the matchup. We can just find out by going into game number 1. It's Mifflin and J-Mac to take us through it.
Thank you very much, Gormizer. It's true. Me, Mifflin, J-Mac here, going to be breaking it down on the analyst, and we've got Doug on spectator as we jump into our first official SPL weekend, but not without the SEC. Getting a bit of representation here. So which one of these two teams, J-Mac, do you think has the onus to get aggressive sooner? You had said you want to see Dazer get aggressive. Nearly finds a target there. Dash forward, no good. Silence on a mass kill, drops him low, and Johnny with a crushing wave puts the first on the board. Dazer now just trying to create space. He's sacrificing himself for his team. Forces Hex MAMBO to peel back onto him, but will fall down nonetheless. The Tartarus Titans lose 2. And once more the shield buff will go the way of the Chaos. Dazer forward once more. But you gotta think Nox is just healthy and safe here. Actually trying to turn around the fight. Toddy dropped down to 20%. Good damage, dash forward, Wild Hunt connects. Over aggression costs him his life. Dazer now into the jungle. Tries to break some ankles by dashing to the Bastion, but only dashes into the waiting arms of Johnny. Now it's mass kill. Can't conveyor belt your way in now, but
possibly even losing out on some of their other buffs across the map. Mid-Harpies have been going the way of Hex MAMBO almost every single time. And because of that, Johnny's been able to get so far ahead. It's not even so much that there's so much farm ahead for Hex MAMBO on that left side fight. That's just playing with an immense amount of confidence.
An ult in from the Horus, delivers mass kill to the back line. There's the OG combo, Brutalize to chase out the ultimate. Mass kill with the last of his mana, goes into the Ragnarok, falls down regardless. Now Lestemics caught alone without the ultimate, knocked down by Kha'Zix. It's Dazer and Dzoni now on the retreat. Kha'Zix so healthy, not good with the Shadow Lock, but the chase still there. Hawk nearby, just peppering in damage. Won't be able to do too much from here. The Tartarus Titans disengage, but not before they lose 2 again. Deficit and support, just feels like Kha'Zix not only tankier, but a bit more active in these fights as well. Dazer, gotta play carefully here, caught by the silence, nearly makes it to an ally, but Johnny knocks him down. 4 stacked on the left side. Hex MAMBO might be able to pull out the Gold Fury here, and the Tartarus Titans, things are getting precarious, aren't they, J-Mac? We're already looking at 3,000 deficit, just 12 minutes in. Inverse what we'd seen for the first couple of minutes where the Tartarus Titans duo lane had them locked in the tower. Now it's Spudio getting aggressive around the purple. Dazer ults in, but gets hit by the Wild Hunt. That Polymorph buys some time, not before Spudio's forced back. Now Hawk, finally for the first time this game, under the eye of aggression, forced into the air, and left alone. Mass kill and Lestemics. Team up, credit to Lestemics for the kills. Hawk falls down. That's a 5 stack from the Tartarus Titans with heavy sustain. Should be able to heal up here, potentially pressure out this tower, but it will not go unanswered by Hex MAMBO. Right side, we've pressed at that 21-minute mark. I think it is time to disallow the Tartarus Titans from getting these trades. Instead, play spoiler to their game, maybe even group up around the fire, where Tartarus Titans will be forced to respond. This time it's Pyromancer. Johnny, the first to take damage, but mass kill with the over chase goes straight into the enemy backline and is knocked down. Meanwhile, Julio keeps the fight separated. It's Lestemics paying for that separation, knocked down by Spudio. It is a conveyor belt of aggression from Hex MAMBO. Toddy GR next on the chopping block in the tier 2 tower. That can't protect you, bud. Beads, Aegis, buys them exactly as long as the Aegis lasts. And Hex MAMBO knocked down their 3rd of the engagement and potentially more. Johnny gets credit for Dzoni, who sticks around for far too long. 5 members of Hex MAMBO around the corner. Not sure you should have been there, bud.
Just let your ally go down at that point. I mean, if they're willing to tier 2 tower dive you as a 5-man death ball, don't step back up in the jungle at that point. It was a great start of the
got the damage to shut him down. Instead, it's Kha'Zix who keeps the Tartarus Titans here. Johnny, given the time to rotate. Dazer, no ultimate, no dash, no chance of survival. Can only buy time. Heads back away from his own team. This is a decision we'd seen earlier from Dazer. Sacrifice your own life to make sure your allies make it out alive. Will eventually fall down, and there's parity in the Phoenixes. Left side for right. Hex MAMBO find the more valuable of the 2. Hawk and Spudio, though, the ADC core left alone in the back line. It's the exact same thing on the right side. The Tartarus Titans now on defense, on the way out of base, chasing them out. Hawk and his teammate Spudio removed. This is one of the biggest team fight wins for the Tartarus Titans up until this point. Can they make it out alive? Julio has Dzoni and Toddy on his eyes. Johnny and Kha'Zix teaming up against Lestemics. Simics no ultimate. Should not be able to work his way out of here. And Julio's HP, I don't know if you see him up there, it has not moved. Has the 1v3 up against Dzoni. 50 seconds left on nearest respawn once DRZA rejoins the land of the living. 3 versus 3 on the mid bird. Minion wave there for Hex MAMBO. I think they might be able to push in.
Julio didn't even go for Serrated. He went for the ultimate insult to injury. It's Hasten Katana for the Vamana stick to 3 different targets, and this should be an easy fight for Hex MAMBO.
Julio takes a lot of damage here, but it's the Phoenix that's really under threat. It does fall down. Dzoni now forced to use that crushing wave defensively. Mass kill on the chase. Good Aegis to avoid that water spout. Keeps them alive. Lifesteal off minions. Disengage now on his mind. Or potentially re-engage with DRZA, delivering him to the back line. Dzoni, are you going to make it out alive?
So fast.
Unreal. Atlas of the Yellow River and the aggression from Hex MAMBO have allowed the Tartarus Titans time to regroup. It's DRZA up to the sky. He's bringing Mass Kill and Lestimics with him straight to the back line, but lands into the Wild Hunt. Dzoni double kill to start the fight. Make that a triple as he knocks down 3. Goes down in trade, but he's done the work of many men. 4 dead from Tartarus Titans, and it's only Toddy alive on the defense. Up against 4, you gotta think there's no chance. Game 1 over to Hex MAMBO as they have fun with their food. Toddy GR fighting for his life, clawing for survival in his own fountain as the Titan goes untouched. Hex MAMBO, it was never in doubt here in Game 1. Now it's all about adaptations as we advance in this best of 3 set.
Gotta see some change-ups for the Tartarus Titans. Not even so much in the draft. I love the composition that the Tartarus Titans had going into this. They have a great pick style of comp.
And unfortunately for a lot of teams, that goes up even more. Last game we saw a lot of that dominance from Hex MAMBO.
Yep.
Ao Kuang takes a little while to get online. Maybe we'll see them hit that same stride. Maybe it'll be the opening the Titans need. We'll find out here in game number 2 as we go down to Miff and J-Mac to take us through.
Thank you very much, Gormizer. It's Mifflin, J-Mac, and Doug bringing you game 2 of this exciting set between the Tartarus Titans and Hex MAMBO. J-Mac, the Doug brings up, or the desk rather.
Dzoni knows that there is a target without beads in Toddy. He's been sticking around this left side now, but has been standing on a ward for the last at least 10 or so seconds. So Toddy going to wisely sit in the depths of the tier 1 tower to keep away from him.
Yeah, it's a tough situation where Dzoni can't necessarily know that Toddy's concerned or has that ward there. Not that it seems to matter. Just a little bit more damage. That third ability enough. Ultimate's good. And up to the sky. Toddy falls down, even with perfect information. I suppose just assumes that Dzoni had rotated back
He's
towards
out on his blue buff for this. So Mass Kill and Lestimics recognizing the timers on that can find at least something out of nothing.
DRZA on left. Has to thread the needle with a dash. Gets caught against a wall regardless. Landfall, not only a pull, but also a structure. The rest of Hex MAMBO swarm him, immediately knocking down that support
Alongside
player.
DRZA. Mass Kill maybe try to set up for that one. Finds Hawk in the jungle, but Hawk
Yikes.
will quickly make short work of Mass Kill's time on the jungle.
Yeah, Sonic Boom channeled. Maskill thought he was the hunter, but he is the hunted. Dzoni knocks him down. Ultimate for a bit of damage, but does not put it on cooldown. So the execute's still available for Dzoni. Find their way to Dzoni. Means it's a pretty hefty bounty.
DRZA's going to step up, and now surrounded by 3. Pulled back by Kha'Zix, and the bombs by the mid laner sets up for easy pickings for Dzoni, but Dzani's able to make it a 1-for-1 trade.
Dzani now on the retreat. Pull no good. Mass kill from the grave. Respawn. Sonic Boom to close gap. Now it's Kha'Zix in a bit of trouble. Can they turn this one around, though? Defender of Olympus finds the wrong target. J-Mac and Dzoni knocks down Mass kill. DRZA needs to do something to turn this around. Reach no good. And Dzoni, it's the exact same as game 1.
When we talk about the history of a player like Dzoni, and it might be a moment before we can talk about his history, though. Taunt missed by DRZA. Spudio still has ultimate and dash. We'll be just fine. But when I look back at Dzoni's, okay, never mind. Spudio wants to keep the fight going because, well, look who's right back around. It's Dzoni once more. Teleport in to start it out, but seems that DRZA should be just fine. Toddy, maybe a different story.
DRZA in some trouble. Goes in for the peel. Pays with his life. The story of a support caught out. Dzoni, though, takes a lot of damage in trade, and Toddy able to finish off that one himself. Hawk and Kha'Zix hovering nearby in the jungle. Not close enough, but your bounty, your 5-0 Ao Kuang knocked down. That's a massive gold infusion to Toddy.
Spudio beats. Not going to do much to help him there. Quick rotation from Dzani over to the dual lane to give Toddy a bit of pressure relief. And that's something that we didn't see. Not only able to get the bounty on Dzoni, but also getting a bit of assist, keeping Spudio away will definitely help his lane out.
Hawk takes a whole lot of damage. Dzoni does every single bit of it on his own. Gets pulled into the tower by Kha'Zix there, but maintains his beads. Drop down to 20%. Puts him in a kill threshold, but nobody there to knock him over the edge. The Tartarus Titans have found their fight here.
Johnny is really banking on the assistance from the rest of his team. Lestemix finds a double push to get the fight going, but used the boulder on the wave, so he's got nothing to get away from the execute of Johnny, who again is really thriving off the support from his
30%
team.
Toddy as well, also dropped low. Dazer Dash is aggressive, perhaps does not catch the memo what's happened in his back line. Dzoni left alone, dies alone. Toddy forced to ult defensively. The back of Dazer getting aggressive. Going to be a bit more of a facilitator in some of these engagements that are going so heavily in favor of Hex MAMBO. And a singular pick on the left with the amount of damage output MAMBO have already got. Lead to a Gold Fury. The only one in range to defend is Dazer, and I'm not so certain he's got a...
Subsequently now, Toddy does have his beats to get away from execute. Sonic Boom juked out though. Johnny may just be out.
That's the combo you had called for, but difficult to execute on. Johnny though, left in no man's land, surrounded by 3. Seems to have the damage, and he does. Mass kill to the water illusion, and now Kwong finds hit 7th. Execute's still available. Dazer only form a CC immunity, so that beads now lost. It's a dash into tower and taken up to the air. Toddy tries his best to buy some time, and does so, but does not get anything besides that. Just a couple of seconds to play around on the map before Johnny's able to dunk down and put his 3rd in the engagement on the map. Triple kill over to the jungler.
Johnny has a field day in scenes like this. There are hardly anybody that can stand up, and this is the reason why. He's level 13, he's got 9 kills. He's not that far ahead, but look at what he's doing.
It's just that itemization, so much power early on. Goes back into the tower, up against 3. Julio creating space, but that should be the end of it. Not healthy enough to stick around. Sonic Boom's being channeled in the back line, but that's simply a threat as Julio dashes forward. Dazer taken to the sky. When Johnny's got the execute, you have to show respect. Lestemix, that's a double. Mass kill could find Julio, and does. I doubt he makes it out alive, not with Hawk on the scene. And even on the left, J-Mac, it's going south everywhere on the map. Spudio finds his 1v1 nearly a deicide. It's only Dzoni alive. And now the Dazer's on respawn. That deicide curse will not persist. Dzoni finds the 1v1. Hawk stands his ground, nearly able to take him out post-mortem with the passive, but not enough damage. We'll see if Kha'Zix can finish up the job.
Has ult, just off the mark. Dzoni will be the only one who lives from all that fighting. Solo kill on the left side,
Johnny,
maybe to be expected just because of...
I wonder if they're going to allow the Tartarus Titans to go for that trade. Generally, you want to desync these neutral objectives when you've got a lead like this. Johnny in first, Sonic Boom connects, mass kill, pays the price. You'd think he's the one that got hit by a fire truck there, and Johnny just continues moving forward. The only thing that can stop him is the tower, and he's got allies to tank it for him. Lestemix holding up the front line, but for how long? That long. Spudio, credit for the kill. Dzoni caught alone in the jungle, and with Johnny on the chase, generally finds what he wants. Dzoni falls down, and Johnny gets his 3rd of the fight, and it's another 4-man removal of the Tartarus Titans with Hex MAMBO.
At this point through, you've got to handle Spudio. He has been unchecked in so many of these fights. Taunt lands on a Kha'Zix, but Spudio's got ult in the backline to stun too.
Kha'Zix dragged all the way back, but Johnny makes use of it. It almost seems like that's a decision by Kha'Zix to create space, the way Johnny was able to get his way into the back line. Lestemix now caught in no man's land once more and taken to the sky. Couldn't even channel any form of CC immunity there. Beads available, unused. Can Julio find a bit more here? Another kill could just end the game. Johnny, water illusion onto 2. Dazer dropped low, and an auto attack from Hawk is all it takes to finish off this one. Still 5 strong on Hex MAMBO. 2 alive from the Tartarus Titans and mass kill. Just 8 seconds from the respawn. Should be able to keep the Titan alive. Mid-Phoenix, though, another story.
To Kha'Zix in the entire fight. Oh, and by the way, Hawk from max range is just rain firing.
Hold on.
It's hard to find anybody, but maybe you can find one here. Maskill starts off with a great fight, but he doesn't have a way out
buff.
because he can't get the Sonic Boom through. Tries to use the buff to stay alive, but they get the one. They get Hawk. That's great, but Hawk's been
expecting to see
one of the...
up until this point. Hex MAMBO tend to act fast, and they do so once more. Dazer caught out, dropped low, pulled back, and stunned. I mean, he wasn't allowed to press any buttons. My man was getting juggled, tossed like a salad. Julio knocks him down, and he's got eyes for the rest of the team. A one-man army in the base of the Tartarus Titans. Walks himself out, takes no damage for his trouble. Kha'Zix, can you repeat that? Pulled in, leaps backward. The Titans burning, and the Titans not willing to defend. 50% on the primary objective. Kha'Zix low, Maskill hovering nearby. Takes one bit of damage from the Alquang and is mercifully spared the water illusions damage. Maybe 10 seconds flat if the Tartarus Titans don't try and defend. He's got Magi's, J-Mac. He's going to be all right. And whoever pops the Magi is going to take more damage. That's Magi's revenge. Maskill got to play real safe here.
Well, execute not even used for the actual execute portion, just to set up for Dzoni to find a pseudo-execute in that regard up against them. One man down at the Titan. Hex MAMBO can walk
Julio.
right in, and Julio's already done so.
Julio 1v1ing the Titan as Dzoni 1v4s the rest of the Tartarus Titans. Julio, are you going to win that fight? I've never seen anything like it. Just walks in on his own and stomps on the biggest objective Smite has to offer. Hex MAMBO was not once in question. This set was convincing.